returns. Margaret from Haywards Heath, who's won the bingo. We'll have you on next, Margaret, if you can just stay where you are. But we've got Marie, I believe, from Send.
That's me.
Who fancies a moan.
That's me.
Yep.
Actually, I'm disabled, and I'm actually rely on my radio programs, which I listen to all the time. I don't like that Tommy man that was on last week.
Always hope.
But I'm even more bored with your program.
My word, you'd rather have Tommy back?
No, I don't want him either.
Who'd you like then?
Haven't you got an alternative to Paul?
Well, this is alternative, wouldn't you say?
Well, I don't think much of it.
Well, then,
I think you should rethink the program.
What do you mean? You're suggesting it's thought out?
Oh, well, I don't think that it doesn't appeal to me.
No.
And I have to sit here on my own with nothing except the radio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a television, but I don't have that on so much. But I like the Southern Counties. I love them.
Yes.
And I'm bored stiff. I'm telling you, I'm bored stiff.
Well, all I would say to that is that you need to try listening a little bit longer, because...
I've been listening since the beginning of the programme.
Well, it takes about 6 weeks.
Well, I haven't had it. We've had Tommy for 2 weeks.
Yes, I know, but we got rid of him.
Oh, great God.
Yes.
Thank God for that.
We
Are
actually...
you going to improve?
Well, what we did was we got some people in and we had him duffed up.
Yeah. I mean,
we didn't hurt him badly.
No, but I mean...
we just duffed him up a bit.
You seem to have only one Paul Miller.
Did you approve of that?
Well, I'd be glad to get rid of him anyway.
But do you agree with having him slapped about a bit?
Well, I don't care a damn what you do with him. I don't...
Didn't use weapons or anything, just...
I don't think he should be employed, frankly.
Well, he's not going to be employed as a model for a few weeks.
I don't think he's employed for anything, quite frankly. I thought he's...
But you're not unhappy that we had him...
I'm very unhappy that we had him seen to. At all.
Yes.
I am.
Well, but you don't mind the fact that we knocked him about a bit?
I don't care a damn what you did with him. It's not my business, is it? It's your business.
Would you have knocked him about if you'd had the opportunity?
No, I don't believe in hurting people, but...
Okay.
But
you slag him off.
I wouldn't care less if you got rid of him.
No, but you
have to pay his wages.
Right, so you don't want him knocked about, but you slagging him off's all right.
Well, you don't pay... I don't pay his wages, but you have to. And because of...
But what's the difference between slapping someone about and slagging them off?
I don't care a damn which it is, but I'm just telling you...
Well, no, you just said that you wouldn't slap him about, but you will slag him off.
Someone has got to tell you what they think, surely. This is a programme where...
I'm just trying to analyse exactly what it is...
No, this is a programme where...
...that you would like done with him. You don't mind if he's slapped about.
I don't care then what you do with him. He's your employee, not mine.
Would you...
I don't care. I'm your employee, not mine. I don't know how you treat with your pee. Would you be happy to be knocked about being an employee? I'd just get the sack, wouldn't I?
Well, normally we just do things like make them stand in a bucket of paint.
Yeah, well then what are they going to do about you? Because your program's as boring as hell.
Well, they've already had me painted green.
Oh, great, yeah. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they're paying good money for you and for him for nothing. All right?
Well, I still think I don't understand how it is that you sort of don't approve of somebody being slapped about.
I couldn't care less because it's not my business, is it?
Well, you're making it your business.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. No, you are. You're making it your business, aren't you?
No, I'm telling you.
Well, how's it not your business if you decide...
I'm telling you what I think about your programme.
Yeah, but with the greatest of respect, do you not think your thinking is a little bit muddled?
No, I'm telling you what I think about his programme
and
your programme.
You can't duck the issues.
They're both rotten.
You can't duck the issues.
Oh, yes, I can.
Well, why?
What
good's that?
You're
It's no good coming in and saying, it's no good coming in and saying, look, I've got an opinion, but on the other hand, I haven't.
No, look, mate, you've got your...
I don't mind if he's slapped about, but hang on a second, no, I don't approve of that.
No.
But I don't want him hurt, but I'll slag him off. What you need to know is exactly what you think, and I'm not convinced that you know what you think.
Well, you're paid to do your job, aren't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
You are, aren't you?
That's what I'm doing.
And your job is unsuccessful as far as I'm concerned, right? Is that fair?
No, that's not true. That's not true, and shall I tell you why? Shall I tell you why?
Yeah, go on.
It's very successful, because you rung me up.
Well, naturally, if yeah.
And that is, right? You
Yeah.
listen to this? Are you listening carefully?
I am, and I'm going to tell you something afterwards, so don't cut me off.
Well, that means that you're probably not listening to what I'm saying. You can't listen and mentally rehearse what you're going to say next. You have to have an empty mind to listen properly.
Go on then.
Are you listening?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. Carry on. Regardless.
What did you say regardless for?
Because I feel about it.
Well, you just said it because it's once attended those previous words. It didn't actually mean anything.
Oh, carry on. Go on.
Where did carry on regardless come from?
Well, God knows, but it came out.
Well, I know it came out, and that's my point. Language is precious.
Oh, is it? You don't... Oh, no, don't kid me that.
What do you mean, don't kid you that?
Yeah.
Language is everything. We were discussing semantics earlier.
Yeah, but I'm talking...
Language is everything. All of reality is enclosed within...
Yeah, but I'm talking about your
language.
program.
Yes, I am. And you said...
Yeah.
Right, that you thought...
It's a loud
Now,
program.
are you listening?
Yeah.
Are you listening,
I'm
or are
listening.
you, or are you just kind of chipping
I'm
in?
listening, so
Every time you think there's a danger that I might make a point which is so lustrous...
No, stop shitting,
that
Danny, and carry on.
It's so lustrous, right, that it will, have you absolutely spellbound. You say something rather than hear it. And what you need to be doing is listening, because I am a wordsmith.
Well, I'm listening.
I know. Now you are beginning to.
I was in the beginning.
You said that what we were doing... And don't jump in until I tell you I've finished, and it'll only take 10 seconds. Was unsuccessful. But the purpose of it was to get you to phone in, and you did.
Oh, is that a purpose? Sorry.
Yes, that is. Absolutely. To get you to phone in and have a pop.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that you might appreciate my opinion that I didn't like the program because I thought you might like to improve upon it.
No, the thing is that what you want to hear is what you've always heard. That's my own view. And there is an argument for that, and there is a comfort in that kind of routine, but I don't deal in comfort. I don't like comfort. I deal in discomfort. I'm happy with people being energised, being excited, being aroused. There's enough anaesthetic in this world. What we need is a little bit more adrenaline from everybody, and you've got adrenaline, and that adrenaline is doing you good, and you feel concerned, and you feel confused, but not in a bad way, because, this has opened a window in your living room, and this has given you a breath of fresh air, and it's given you a punch-up, a little verbal punch-up with somebody, and you love it. You love it.
I tune in.
You love it. You love it.
I tune in.
You love your indignation.
I tune into you for entertainment purposes. I have no other interference.
Did you hear anything that I just
can't go
said?
anywhere. I'm disabled.
Did you just hear? That isn't a credential.
No,
but you mustn't use the fact that you're disabled to try and win an argument.
I want to be entertained.
And you are being entertained.
I can't go out to be entertained.
Because you're being... Look, now, again, you mustn't use being disabled, which is one thing, and I sympathise with any difficulties that delivers of you, just as I sympathise with people who have mental difficulties, but I don't allow it to be used as a credential in an argument, because it's not germane to what we're talking about, because your ears aren't disabled, and your mind isn't disabled, and therefore it's irrelevant.
I understand your point, and I agree to a certain extent.
Thank you very much indeed. Now, I've got to go, Marie, and I'm glad you finally came round to my way of thinking. Clarity of thought, that's what we're... All right. Diane Story has emailed from don't know where. This poor lady is obviously unaware that it is you. Well, that's hardly my fault, is it? Diane Story? What if the... You are very rude. No, I'm not. I am not rude. I'm nowhere near rude. People calling me want to be rude. They want to have a pop. It's quite pleasant to be able to shout at somebody, to be able to be rude to somebody, to try and upset them, which is what people are doing to me. That's what they're trying to do to me. And it's quite invigorating to be able to do that, because I don't mind, because I can take it. I haven't got a particularly thick skin, but I know it's not really me that they're aiming at. They're angry with the world, they're angry with their grandchildren, I don't know, they're angry with the dustman who doesn't do his job properly, they're angry with the water board, as they call it, they're angry because they pay their rates and look, you know, they're angry. And I'm someone they can take it out on. I mean, that should be available practically on the National Health. Diane's story goes on, you're very rude and very boring. No, I'm not boring. You might not quite get it, but it ain't boring. Then she says, I wish someone would duff you up. Oh, Diane, that's probably illegal what you've written. But I won't take it down to the police station. I wish someone would duff you up, if that's the only way to get rid of you. Come on then, Diane, bring it on. Go on. Come down here and bring it on. No, only joking. We don't do that sort of thing. But then on the other hand, you know, it's kind of nice in a sort of semi-dramatic situation to mentally rehearse me having a punch-up with a Diane story of goodness knows where. To Geoff, who's on the line from Reigate. Geoff?
Yeah?
Good evening.
Good evening. You're all right, Tom?
Never been better, thank you, Geoff. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad at all. I've just been listening.
I have answered that question earlier this evening, and there's been no change since the last time.
No.
No, but it's a politeness, isn't it?
It is really, yeah.
Or a waste of time.
Can you tell me why...
Or a waste of time.
No, just let me talk. Can you tell me why you're doing this job?
For the enhancement of humanity.
Oh, don't give me that load of rubbish.
No, I mean it. That's absolutely true.
I've just been listening to you.
No, that's absolutely true. You asked me the question.
I've asked you a question.
And I've answered it.
And it's rubbish.
Well, I'm sorry, excuse me, you dare not say that to me. You wouldn't say it to my face. Well, you wouldn't say that to my face.
If I was standing in the bar next to you, I'd say that to you.
Right, well, you come down here now then. It's only take you half an hour.
Then?
Brighton.
Yeah. Can you tell me why you're doing the job you're doing?
You're not going to come down then, because you say you'd say that to my face. You wouldn't.
I can't come down because my bike's got a puncture.
Because your bike's got a puncture?
Yeah. So I can't get down there.
Well, come down next week then.
Yeah. Can you tell me why you're doing
You're going to do it?
Yeah. Can you tell me why
you're not, are you?
Pardon?
You're not. I've answered that question.
What question did you answer?
The one that you asked me. And the one that you're asking me again.
What's that?
Have you forgotten?
No. Why are you doing the job you're doing?
I've answered that. What did I say?
I don't know what you said. It's just a load of rubbish.
What did I say?
I've been listening to you.
No, what did I say in answer to that question? This is ridiculous, man. You asked me a question, I answered it, you said it was rubbish, and then you asked me it again. Then when I asked you if you'd heard the first answer that I'd given, that you judged to be rubbish, you can't remember what it was.
Right, can we step this then and start again?
Yes, good idea.
Right,
Let's go. All I'll do is do it properly, shall we?
Yes. Can you tell me why?
I'll do it. Hang on. I introduce you. That's how it works.
Yeah.
So oh no, hang on.
Hang on.
Right. On line 17, we've got Geoff from Reigate. Good evening, Geoff.
Good evening. Now, can you tell me why you're doing this job you're doing now?
Well, it's the same answer that I gave previously. You're making me sound like Tony Blair.
Yeah. You admire him, don't you, Tony Blair?
He's a fine man and the greatest Prime Minister this country's ever had.
And you said about 3 weeks ago he's never lied in his life.
Never lied.
No.
Never once.
Have you looked at his manifesto?
That's not a lie.
It's not?
No.
What is it then?
Well, first of all, it's not his manifesto.
Well, he's a gaffer, isn't he?
It's the manifesto
Surely he okays it, doesn't he?
It's the manifesto... No.
Oh,
who writes a political manifesto for the Labour Party?
Who okays it then?
Who writes the manifesto for the Labour Party?
You tell me.
You don't know.
Do you know?
Well, you're the one who quoted it.
No, you're the one who pontificates.
Well, you're the one who brought it up.
Me.
You don't bring up something in an argument if you're not sure of your facts, mate. Tip number 1. Big tip. Big tip, that. Big tip. You'll never be a barrister if you go around doing that. Never ask questions you don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay, so...
Right.
Are you going to answer my first question, then?
I've already answered it.
You've not? You've not? I want to know why you're doing this job you're doing.
Well, that's the 5th time you've answered it, and my answer is the same as the first time you asked it, and I answered it.
What, to enhance what? What did you say? To enhance the public or something like this?
You didn't hear it, did you?
What did you say, then?
You pronounced it as being rubbish, but you didn't actually hear it.
What did you say, then? What's your answer, then? Could you repeat it?
The same... It was the thing that I said that you called rubbish. And how can you call something rubbish if you haven't heard it?
Oh, I've heard it. Yeah.
And then
What
why do you
about-
need to ask it again?
What about you just recapping then?
Well, why?
And tell me what you're doing it for.
No, because you're somebody who calls something rubbish even though they haven't heard it. Why do you do that?
I don't think so.
I don't think it would have mattered what I'd have said. You'd have said that was rubbish.
Wrong.
What was the answer you were hoping
Wrong.
for?
You're all waffling.
What was the answer you were hoping for?
I wanted to know, with the qualifications you've got...
What was the answer you were hoping
No,
for?
you just let me talk. With the qualifications you've got, Cambridge you should have been at 13, this, that and the other. And you finish up doing a chat show, right, on a what do you call it, a radio station, Saturday night. Okay. Why do you do that?
Well, you said you were going to ask another question, and you've asked the same question.
No, you're not answering it, are you?
I've answered it once. I don't see why I should repeat myself. Some things are worth repeating, all right? Others are not.
You what?
Some things are worth repeating patently, others are not.
No.
I'm not going to continue repeating myself to you if you're not prepared to listen. Okay. Otherwise, we're all wasting our time. You can see that, can't
right.
you? You can see that.
So, I'll sit here then. I'm prepared to listen. Now, just go on with your waffle then. What are you going to say?
What am I going to say next? I'm going to say goodbye. Geoff, thanks for your call.
And that's it?
Yep, that's it. Hi.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Right? Having a ball. We've got some really fascinatingly irate people who want to have some fun, and they are, and that's fine by me.
Good. You look like you're enjoying it.
Well, they are too.
Yes, well, they are.
One bloke, I think he wanted to rip my head off and spit down the hole.
I thought at one point he was on his way down here.
I want that.
But I love that. What I loved was his comment, I would come down. What was it that was so wrong with his car?
His bike got a puncture.
His bike got a puncture.
He was great. He was great.
I love that.
As I said, at one point he sounded as though he wanted to rip my head off and spit down the hole, and then he ended it by saying, well, it's very nice to talk to you. Thank you very much.
British, isn't it?
I don't know. I think you meant it because a harmless, bit of banter.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun. Saturday night.
You're going to stay and... It's our next caller, and she's calling from Worthing. Hello, Mary.
Hi, Tommy. Hi. I don't really know what sort of a show this is, because I've only heard brief snatches of it now and again. But what I want to know is, what is your opinion about the government's proposal to add fluoride to our drinking water? And they're going to make a decision.
I thought they already had.
Well, in parts of the north, yes, but not down south.
Why do you want to know my opinion about that?
Well, I think you seem to have an opinion on most things, don't you?
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
No, I think opinions can be very dangerous things.
Oh, I see.
You see, I have this view on opinion. Don't have an opinion until you've researched something thoroughly, and I haven't researched the fluoride thing at all.
No, but we're going to have it pushed into our water.
No, we're not.
On us, and we haven't researched it either.
No, that's not the case.
Uh-huh. What is the case, then?
The case is that neither you or I know enough about it.
Really?
No.
Well, funnily enough, I was reading about this 45 years ago.
Well, why is that funnily enough?
Well, because I should know a bit about it by now.
Why, you're not a dentist or a doctor, are you?
No, I'm not.
You're a member of the public.
I'm a member of the public.
And therefore you vote people in to take difficult decisions which you can then condemn.
I vote people in. I didn't vote this government in.
Yes, you did.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I might have had to tolerate it, but I didn't vote it in.
Yes, you did.
How do you know?
You're the electorate.
What, do you mean to say they're the only party that can be voted for?
The electorate voted them in, that's you.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Sorry.
it is. Yes, it is. Otherwise, you end up with a very divided society if you take the view that if it's not the government that you voted for, then they're rotten. That's no good.
That's exactly what we do have, isn't it?
No.
We do have a divided society.
Only because there are people like you who want to condemn everything a government does if it's not the government they voted for.
No, that's not true.
Well, I suspect it might be.
I'm quite pleased with some of the things they've done. I can't think of anything at the moment, but I'm sure something will come to mind.
Well, now, you see, you're just saying that, aren't you, to make yourself sound magnanimous, but you didn't, because you don't really want to be magnanimous.
Oh, I don't mind being magnanimous, but
well,
I don't want to...
Be magnanimous, then.
But, yes,
be magnanimous.
I could be, but
go on, then.
I don't see why I should be subjected to having to drink water into which poisons have been put.
Where do you live?
I live in Sussex.
Whereabouts?
And there's no fluoride in our water at the moment, so I am told.
Who by?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what is in your water?
Oh, various things.
What?
Chlorine.
Yes. Anything else?
Nitrates or
Anything else?
nitrites, all sorts of...
What else?
Well, they reckon that we're getting things like Prozac coming from all the people that participate in the water supply.
Yes, whatever. What else is in your water then that you don't know about or do know about?
Well, if I don't know about it, I don't know, do I?
Trihalomethanes.
Sorry?
Trihalomethanes.
Didn't hear you, sorry.
Trihalomethanes. You've got trihalomethanes in your water.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Have we?
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, you do know something about our
By
water.
God, I know lots about everything. Lead. How much lead is there in your water?
Probably...
Probably?
A small percentage, especially if
Do you not
don't-
think you should be more worried about lead than fluoride?
Well, what we used to do years ago was to let the water run first thing in the morning.
Well, that doesn't make any difference if there's lead in the main pipes.
No, I'm quite sure there isn't in the main pipes.
How do you know that?
Well, I'm hoping that...
Well, you're not sure if you're hoping, are
the
you?
government wouldn't be so foolish as to leave lead in the main pipe.
Are you kidding me? Rip up all our water pipes? That would cost a fortune. People like you would be jumping up and down saying, I can't afford this.
In some of the old houses, there are lead pipes. And when we didn't have to pay such exorbitant rates for our water...
Nitrates and nitrites. Do you know what the difference is between the two?
Well, they do put one of them in...
Which?
To treat the water.
Not nitrates.
Right.
No, neither of those things are added intentionally to our water supply.
Yes, they
No,
are, because
no.
I'm assured by somebody who works at the water company.
Well, I don't suppose they
Anyway,
know what
I'm
they're
not
talking about. Because I'm a
interested
journalist, so I know what I'm talking
Oh, right.
about.
Well, perhaps you know something about fluoride.
Where does the
then.
nitrate? Where do the
I'm not
nitrates come from?
interested in those.
Well, you should be,
particularly.
because they are particularly insidious.
They're not good, I know.
No, it's not that
But
they're not good.
fluoride is 10 times worse, and there's no reason to put it in
Now,
our
if I may
drinking
just
water.
interrupt you there,
Yeah.
right, that is absolute rubbish
Is
to
it
say.
really?
Yes, that's to
What?
say that what you just said, which is that fluoride is 10 times worse than nitrates.
Well, I'm sure it is.
What are nitrates?
I don't know. I don't want to know about
Well, look,
nitrates.
Mary, keep it clean. You cannot say that you are sure of this and sure of that
What
when...
I know is...
Let me finish, because this is an important matter of logic. It is a simple matter of logic that if you cannot say, right, I am sure, you, Mary, are not allowed to say, I am sure, but I don't know. You can't say that. That is an absolute non sequitur.
The point...
I mean, it should be illegal to say that.
The point I'm making...
Do you see the point I'm making?
No, because...
Well, I'll say it again then.
No,
I'll say it again.
That point.
No, you're not, are you?
No, look,
because what it does is it gets in your in the
but
way
you're not
of your
listening.
little. I know exactly what you're on about.
You're not listening.
You just want to pop at the government.
Of course I do.
And that's all you're not really bothered about fluoride.
I don't want compulsory...
You're not really bothered about the quality of the water.
Of
You
course
just
I
want to
am.
have a little
I've got to
sly
think
pop
it.
at the government because you voted for the other lot.
You don't know who I voted for.
Well, you didn't vote for this government, so you voted for the other lot.
I might not have voted for any lot.
You told us that you had.
I didn't.
You did.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't vote for this lot.
You admitted that you were the electorate.
Well, everybody's
You're not part of the electorate if you don't vote. I don't vote. I am not part of the electorate.
Oh,
You vote.
really?
You are part of the electorate. No. I choose not to vote
Oh, that
because...
is very good. I'm glad about that.
Yeah, you can't get the knife in anywhere on me on this one, mate.
I'm glad you don't
Now,
vote.
what you do is you go down to the library. This is what I do when I don't know something.
Right.
I go down to the library and I read up what is fluoride. You don't know.
It's the waste product of the aluminium and the fertiliser industry.
What?
And I don't want it in my water. It's also rat poison.
Mary, you really... I'm afraid I'm going to have to let you go because
Well, you don't know, obviously.
you're talking rubbish.
Yes.
Yes,
Well, I'm
rubbish.
glad.
I mean, you're glad.
Yeah, I'm glad you
Why?
think it's
Why do you want to frighten people?
I'm glad you think it's rubbish. I'm not trying to frighten people. I'm just trying to protect them from
that doesn't
compulsory
wash.
mass medication
That doesn't
when there's no
wash.
need for it.
And what do you think they might do it for? What would their reason be?
To get rid of the waste products of the aluminium and fertiliser industry.
This is cloud cuckoo stuff.
Is it?
Yes, it is. I promise you.
You'd
And
like
everybody
to think
listening
so.
knows that. I know so.
You'd like to think
I
so.
absolutely know so. I absolutely know so. I have hardly heard a greater load of old rubbish than what you've just said and implied about some good people who work hard for us. I don't think I've ever heard a more ridiculous insinuation.
Now,
This century,
Flouride
listen to me.
Come on.
This century, I don't think I've heard a more ridiculous insinuation that the government are going to add fluoride to our water as a means of disposing of the poison. Do you have any idea how ridiculous that sounds?
Well, you seem to have an idea about it.
Let me just be clear that is what you... Because I'm going to tell all my friends that there's a woman in Worthing who thinks that the government is adding fluoride to our water supply because it's the best way of getting rid of a poison.
Well, can you tell me why else they are
Is that
adding it?
what you think?
I certainly do.
Okay,
Can
well,
you
Mary,
tell
I've
me-
got to let you go because that is just fantastic gibberish. Unbelievable. I mean, that is five-star nonsense. I'm going to tell Alison that she's really done well to remind us that there are people who can vote, who can actually construct a set of thoughts like that. I mean, it's unbelievable.